All right. She is a singer, songwriter, actress, producer. She has done a little bit of everything in Chicago, and her purse is, if you could sit your purse on, there we go. Your purse is your purse was blocking your beauty.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Let's get your microphone in a comfortable, not on the floor.
Yeah, you can't put it on the floor.
Okay,
so
over here.
Over on that, right past that area. Right. It should be good there. There we go.
I forgot. A black woman is never putting her purse on the floor.
She ain't gonna be broke, boo.
She looked like, what am I doing with this again?
Am I putting my purse on the floor? Where that purse going?
How you doing, Terisa Griffin?
I am happy and that I could get here, that I could make it.
I know it's been a journey.
It's a journey.
It's a journey to get here.
Journey.
Well, we are glad to have you down here on Chicago Famous. We were talking about you earlier about all the things that you are involved in, and and we're gonna try to find out.
What did you say?
I said I know they antagonized y'all.
We got some water for you as well if you want to.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's gonna cool you off. But yeah. I know you under the mask.
Chicago City.
Hey, I like that though. I like that. That is fresh. That is really fresh.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to try to figure out all the things that you don't know how to do, because as far as we know,
turn the air on because it's going to get hot in here.
You can cook, you can sing, you can act, you got it going on. So I'm impressed. Every time I click on Facebook, here you are. We're like, Terisa Griffin's live. What is she up to now? And I'll pop in and you sit there stirring a bowl or stirring a pot and figuring it out and throwing in some spices. So you have always got something going on, and we always appreciate you for that. And we're just glad to have you on Chicago Famous.
I'm just pleased to be here. I'm happy to be here. I might have to remove this so it doesn't block. Is it blocking? Can you?
We can see you just fine. The shot.
Can you hear me?
Do you think?
How about that? Can you see yourself on?
Are we 6 feet apart from her? I know I'm 6 feet away.
I might be. Yeah, I might be. If I lay down, it might be like 5.5. How about we move down a little bit more and then you
need some room?
How about I do this? Is that good? Is that good?
That's fine.
Okay. So I don't want to block the sound. Am I blocking?
Oh, that makes a difference.
You got to have headphones as well, and we clean those off.
Yeah, everything is clean and wiped. There's the Lysol right behind it.
Everything is wiped down.
Right there.
Everything is wiped down. I love it. She is a woman playing it safe. She do not want the Rona. We have made it this far.
Praise God.
You have made it. You have not gotten sick or been infected or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I've been battling a sinus infection, and it really, it was crazy. And so I've been practicing my voice. I'm like, okay, I can still sing. So the whole thing is I can still sing.
It's that time of the year because the temperatures have been going up and going down, and anybody who deals with the sinus infections, they know this is the worst time of the year.
Every year I get a sinus infection. Every freaking year. And this year it just popped in, and I was like, oh my God, where did this come from? Because as you can see, I'm the safety queen.
You gotta be.
You gotta be.
That purse is full of cleaning products.
Yes.
A tube of lipstick and cleaning products.
That purse that was like, I was like, no, you can sit it on.
That purse was blocking everything.
I forgot though, and about your voice, and we're gonna get to your story and all of that, but since we're talking about being healthy, what are some tips that you give people like you need your voice almost immediately and your voice is gone, like nothing's there, like what are some things, and you've been singing forever, you got to have like some tips, some things that a person can do to kind of get the voice to come back?
Shut up and go to sleep.
Rest.
Nothing is like rest. So if I tell my fans, hey, I can't do it this week, I'm not cooking this week and singing, they be like, you can come on and talk, but talking is still a muscle. And so when I know I need to rest, I just rest. The other thing that I do, I can't tell everybody about that, but
no, you can, because this is
you can on here. You can on this show,
maybe on Book of
maybe
Dawn,
on real radio you can, but on this show you can let it go.
I'm just saying I'm married, so it's good.
Hey, all right.
It is a muscle, and you need to keep it.
All right.
Yes.
Nothing like a little protein.
All right.
I did not say that.
I'm insinuating. I'm insinuating to get to the truth.
Whoa.
That protein is good for all
things.
All things.
All things are possible.
With a little protein, man.
And protein helps you lose weight. A lot of things.
It does.
All right, this show has already got started.
Yay!
I love it. You didn't think it was crazy yesterday. It's getting crazier today. We got Terisa Griffin in the house hanging out with us, and we definitely want to dive into your story because some people know of you, some people don't know about you, but mostly everybody in Chicago has heard you in one way, in one form or the other. Mm-hmm. So let us know what side of town you were born, where you were from, what schools you went to, and how you pretty much started your journey into your career.
I am from the Boot, which is Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay.
And I moved here when I was 19 and almost 20. And that was it.
What was Monroe like? What was that?
Monroe?
And how does the family go from Monroe
to Chicago,
Louisiana to Chicago?
You pack your bags, you leave your family, and you.
So you left?
Oh yeah, I came here by myself. I stayed in my car in front of Minister Farrakhan's house. It was the safest place in Chicago.
So what brought you to Chicago?
I just flipped a coin on a map. I knew that I wanted to do music, and my whole family sings, and my oldest sister, my dream, I love her so much. Everybody kept pitting us against each other, and that's a nightmare for me because our relationship is so important. And I just wanted to make music, and Louisiana is amazing, but it's jazz, it's blues. It was everything except what I needed. And so I picked up and I left, and it was the best move that I ever made in life.
What did you need that was here in Chicago?
Well, in my opinion, God sent me here. He has been my manager, so I've never been broke since he did it.
Okay.
So, he's managed me with commercials and all the other things, and it was a place that I could network, and Oprah was here. So you look at TV down there, and television is a big thing, you know. And so I was just like, look, flip the coin. It fell on Illinois, it didn't fall on Chicago.
You didn't go to Cairo or
did not go to Cairo. I did not go to Peoria. What is that?
Right.
Wait, so what was on the?
It rolled the champagne, and she was like, "Oh, maybe."
So what was on the other side of the coin? Because when you tell this story, I think of Coming to America. So Eddie Murphy could have ended up in Queens, or he could have went to L.A.
Oh my God!
So if you didn't go to Chicago and that coin flipped the other way, where would you ended up? Detroit?
Nah, it literally hit Illinois, and so there wasn't a question. I was like, well, I know Chicago is in Illinois. So I had a friend that I kind of grew up with, a god brother, who was always talking about, you ought to come to Chicago. I was like, maybe this is where I should be going. So it wasn't a question about whether or not I should do it. It was when. And when I saved up like maybe $400, like I had some money.
Balling out, 19.
Dumb. But that's a great thing about when you're young, you're fearless.
Right,
that's true.
Right.
So you can make those mistakes and feel like, oh, I've got time, I can do this. And it wasn't a mistake. Even now when I do crazy stuff, people be like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I'll stop when I die.
I know that's
I'll stop dreaming when I die. I'll stop believing when I die. That doesn't mean I'm not smart and don't, haven't planned for a future. I've bought property and stuff like that. And that's different. You learn, you invest, you do better. But to be fearless is something that you don't want to lose, And so, my whole thing through this is, well, it's changed. It's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. It's a huge change, but life is about change. So we can't be afraid to see what else God has in store for us in the midst of this. And so even though I've cried with a new shutdown, I'm like, man, I had 3 sold-out shows at City Winery. We're getting ready to do this. And I'm like, yeah, but, the God I serve has never left me. We did a car concert, Adele Givens and I did. It was a great evening. It was amazing energy. I'm going to do them next summer. I learned, as Denzel Washington says, you learn a million ways not to do it and the one way to do it. So there's no failure. You just keep trying.
So when it comes to your music, so who was the first producer? Where was your first break in Chicago in the music industry?
Chicago has a very interesting industry.
To say the least. Think?
My God, if we could ever learn as a people in our music industry here in Chicago, how wonderful. Chicago has amazing talent. You can't beat us when it comes to the musicians here.
True.
Yes.
But why don't we each one help one? Each one help one. You see all this talent, and we haven't, in years. I think it was a long time ago, when we had Chicago Music Row.
Right.
And Jerry
The
Butler,
history is there.
The history's there, but the
Curtis Mayfield, all of that, Chess Records.
Yeah. It disconnected completely. We became our own worst.
So you're in the music industry. What happened? Obviously, you weren't here, but you talked to people. Yeah. What happened from then to by the time you're trying to get into the music industry?
Well, a lot of us keep thinking we need to leave to do it. So we do it and we run away. That's part of it. The other part is our inability to understand that you get older. And it's not that it's a bad thing to get older. You just need to be able to help other people along the way so that connection continues. And our thing is, I got to do it. I got to do it. I.
Right.
And then where is your reach back? Where is your connecting? The singers, there are a lot of great singers in Chicago.
Yes.
But for some reason, some of them don't want you to tell them how to get better. That's just what it is, You sing like this, yeah, but I'm okay. Can you take a little, constructive criticism? Can you? Because some of the things that were available to us then aren't available to them now. We had music in school, and there was that connection where you learn instruments and all of that in school. That has been taken away, but there are still people out here who teach you this. And while it may cost more money to do it, money makes the world go around. So we do need those programs, and there are programs out there to teach music, but our kids have learned to steal it.
Right.
And through that theft, they've created a whole new type of music, because music lives. That's what it does. It just kind of finds another way to live.
It does.
We need to bring that back. We need more workshops for our kids. And unfortunately right now, because it's virtual, the hands-on thing is not there, but it doesn't mean that it can't continue. I told one parent, hey, your daughter's great. I don't have a lot of time to spend hours with her. Get her to learn an instrument. And then we can come back and revisit this. And he keeps in contact with me, and I'm like, oh man, what is she doing? Okay, can I buy this ticket that she's performing? Can I support this? We really need to support our kids, even if you don't have a ton of time. And then Joan Colosso has a program where they're teaching kids music. So we just need to support those programs. So when those people call us up, they don't have to be your best friend for you to support it.
Right.
I can say a lot of singers and entertainers here have not been my best friend. They were really mean to me when I first came because they saw me as competition.
Right.
And I had a mature body, and there were mature things, and I wasn't as old as they thought I was. So it was, it was an interesting thing to have them like, I don't like her. You don't like me because I get big booty and big titties. But I got a soul. Can you get to know my soul?
Maybe that was it, the soul, because your music has always been a soulful sound, and that's always connected, especially as time has gone on, to older artists and older souls.
And they have been, that connection was a lifesaver for me. Jerry Iceman Butler hired me, and God, I kept that gig for 26 years. It was a gig that I was so proud of. He walked me down the aisle at my wedding. And that's a relationship that, God, it was a beautiful, rich relationship. I just left his niece, she's working for me. It's still, a great connection family wise. And then there was the Duke of Earl, who I was out on the road with Jerry. Jerry connected me with other musicians who were like him, which gave me a different appreciation for music. What I didn't want to sell out for, what could fit for me, what didn't fit for me. I never wanted to be a Beyonce. I ain't trying to dance. I ain't trying to work like that. I can dance a little bit, but I'm more like a Donna Summers dancing. I'm going to stand there and sing and do this.
Snap your fingers and move side to side.
Yeah, I might break out a Tina Turner just to be funny, da-da-da-da, but you ain't going to see me really be up there doing, because this is not my thing.
Right.
And once you know yourself as an artist and you're comfortable with who you are, it doesn't mean you can't upgrade, but it does mean you need to stop playing and acting like you're gonna be Beyonce, because it ain't gonna happen.
Okay. So this is around what year when you come to Chicago and you're sitting in front of Minister Farrakhan's house?
94.
94.
94. It was.
Why did you believe that was the safest place in Chicago for you?
Oh, because a friend of mine in high school, he was Muslim. And he said, Teresa, if you ever get in trouble, the safest place in Chicago is with the Nation of Islam.
That ain't no lie.
Wow.
And he said, Minister Farrakhan has security. And he's like, and they won't turn a sister down. If you're somewhere and you need help, you need to find the Nation of Islam. And what was ironic and beautiful is I've seen Minister Farrakhan at some of my performances. And that connection, I'm about to cry, the connection was so amazing. I did something for Minister Clay Evans, Pastor Evans. His last scholarship program was a tribute to Aretha and Mahalia Jackson. And there was this really amazing moment to see Minister Farrakhan sitting there with his wonderful nation, his people.
Right.
And then there was Jesse Jackson, I love him so much, Reverend, Reverend Jackson and his people. And then there's Clay Evans' people. And, and I'm standing there singing. And all of a sudden I got so terribly nervous because I'm like, this is all of the generations of our history.
Yes.
And people just don't understand how amazing this moment is, and to sing for them, it just rocked my world. And then I had Aretha Franklin's musical director, Fred Nelson, musical director, as well as Richard Gibbs. It's just one of these amazing moments where I'm sitting there and all these great musicians. I'm like, can I sing? am I gonna be good enough to get?
You didn't mess it up. You didn't mess anything up in the moment, did you?
I probably did once or twice here and there, but not to a point where anybody be like, "Oh Lord," it wasn't like that. But,
You came out to see her.
Right.
Okay. No, it wasn't. It wasn't like that. But it was just. I was nervous, and it was a great show. I'm so very happy that God allowed that to happen. And at the same time, I was worried about my dress because, here I am dressing like I dress. And, but I
All
did.
right, in front of the minister and the reverend people.
You'd be like, oh, Lord, I'm going to catch it now.
Oh, it was the whole thing was, what is she going to wear? What is she? That was the question. A lot of times it is. It's all about these. I get hot. I can't. But this is one time my
had it up to.
My outfit was all the way up to here, but it was fitted. So
Right.
I was like, oh Jesus, Minister Farrakhan out there. Do I look like a hoe, Jesus? Do I look like a hoe? Clay Evans folks gonna be like that hoe. And so it was, it was that kind of, so I thought about it, and then I asked my good friend Helen Moore. I said, Helen, do I look? And she was like, you look beautiful, baby. I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Right.
Because sometimes I can, be like, whatever. I got my clothes on. I'm paying tribute to Aretha Franklin. What would Aretha wear?
Right.
Because what I loved about Aretha, she didn't apologize. She was like, I'm Aretha.
Yeah.
And this is me, and this is what I love, and I just love that about Auntie Riri.
Yeah.
See, that's so funny because we were talking earlier on my way up here today. I was listening to the best of Aretha Franklin. Now, this ain't the best of Aretha Franklin, but I was just in an Aretha mood today, so I was driving into work playing Aretha Franklin. And then, of course, I always have albums all the time, so I was like, okay, we got to have T.T. Reed representing on the show today. And then you bring her up in conversation, so there you go.
It's that woman. That woman sung a 15-minute anthem. Oh, ding, 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 ding.
Oh, she would kill on the piano.
Oh, say, can you see? I said, oh, this gonna be
For 15 minutes?
You didn't see the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl where the Queen gave them the business.
Yeah.
Can you see?
And the hardcore white people lost their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because they was like, yo, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Rita was like, I bet I'll fix you.
Right.
I will fix you. Let me put some Jesus in this country. Right here. Y'all say, Colin, don't you take a knee? I got Jesus on my side. Say, can you see this? Oh, my God. It was a pivotal, amazing moment.
I'm going to have to look that up on YouTube. I mean, it might have just slipped my mind. One of those beautiful moments.
Play it. You gonna just I had a moment. I was like, for real? For real?
Aretha Franklin.
So if you ever had to cover an Aretha Franklin song, what song would it be?
I already did. And I actually I was up for consideration for the Grammy for it. For my last video, it was "Oh Me Oh My." It was the last thing that I released on my last project, and it was a song that I fell in love with, oh my God, years ago, when I was just laying on the floor listening to, I was going back and forth between Aretha and Nina Simone, and I was laying there, and I'm like, dang, Aretha, and I heard, doo doo, doo 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 doo. I'm like, that sounds like daydreaming. And then she goes, to make you laugh, I'd be a fool for you. I'm like, although the people turn to stay, I really don't care. Like, I would give my everything to keep you, boy. It breaks my heart when you're not there. And all the backgrounds come in. I was like, I'm doing that song.
Right. You're like, that's it. That's the one.
When the Bluebells come in, it was a wrap. When the backgrounds, her backgrounds, she had Whitney Houston's mama was singing background for her.
So Sister Sissy.
Yeah.
Sister Sissy was like, she had some singers.
Yeah.
Singers. My good friend Billy always sang with her, and and the great thing was her background singers sang the backgrounds on the song for me on the recording.
Wow.
So that was an amazing moment. And I got to do on her last CD, I remember it was a long process. Mm-hmm. Terry Hunter called me up. He says, Terisa, we're doing these house versions. Aretha's listening to different house versions of different songs, and it's like disco, and she's listening to I Will Survive. And he was like, and I heard you do I Will Survive sometimes in your show. And I was like, oh. I said, well, okay. And he says, I need you to come in and demo it for her. And I was like, okay, but let me arrange the backgrounds. And he was like, okay. So she liked it. She took it, and they made sure that my name was there for the background arrangements, and
nice.
And so I was like, yes.
Look at this.
Yes. Look at me.
Pass the test with the queen.
With the queen. And it wasn't the first time. When she did The Rose Is Still a Rose, I had demoed some stuff for her, so it was it was a really great moment. I met her through Jerry Butler when they did a tribute to Curtis Mayfield before he passed. Mm-hmm. And she complimented me, and my father, before he passed, he used to keep the article because they had Aretha's picture, and they mentioned me in the article. And shortly after he passed, my father was a preacher, and they said, one of the ladies said, your dad used to read this article to us. And it just gave me verification that he was okay with my decision, to not sing just gospel, to do what it is that I really wanted to do, because he had took my car and left me here. He was like, you ain't going to go to law school. I'll fix you. Hey, here this bus ticket, law school, bus ticket, law school. And the guy gave me a black garbage bag to put my stuff in the car, from the car. And I was like, oh, I'll take the bus ticket. I thought I was about it. I'm going to take the bus ticket, tell my daddy happy hunting. Because they came to my job. I had a little 4-hour job. And they was like, your daddy done found you. And he took that car right on back and left me here in Chicago with a bus ticket.
Wow. Let's take a break. On the other side, we'll continue with Terisa Griffin. We'll get into how she made her splash into the dance music era, which so many Chicagoans know her for. She's known for so many things. And I
definitely want to talk about The Voice as well.
Absolutely.
And what we want the truth.
Yes, we do. Because we saw you on The Voice. We saw what we saw. Yeah. But we didn't get to see what you saw. Well, so that's what we want to know. So we'll take a break, and then we'll come back, and we'll just let you spin it.
Okay.
All right.
Terisa Griffin with all the tea on Chicago Famous. Mike Love and Dizz on the What's In It for the Black People Media Network.
WIFTBPM. You lil niggas better double your mint, cause real niggas feel realer, fake niggas resent. I'm in this bitch with my bros, flows off the Richter. If rappers are robbery, then obviously it's a stick up. This that shit you feel in your chest, young hiccups. In the clip that your click that they split like a swisher. I'm just trying to kick it, feet full of blisters, coldest flow around, speech like a blizzard. Bars, can I kick it?
Love y'all, share it.
Chicago Famous, Mike Love and Dizz with the lovely, talented Terisa Griffin hanging out with us.
And they're rocking the real I See You.
That's our rhyme. That's a rhyme was bouncing.
I love that.
I want to send a shout out to Herb of Herb and Two and the Bigs. They got a show on Sundays called the Kickoff Kickback. That is Sundays at 10 a.m. with the Bigs, Terrence Tomlin, and Eugene McIntosh. And, of course, as I said, Herb Howard gets set for Sunday football and Bears and everybody around the league. Sundays, 10 a.m. right here on the What's In It for the Black People Media Network.
All right, we got our girl Terisa Griffin hanging out here on Chicago Famous. Don't forget, share the video, tag your friends in it, especially if you have friends who are familiar with Terisa Griffin's music. And those that are not, you tag them as well, because this is somebody who is definitely Chicago famous and somebody they need to know. So before we went to break, we were talking about The Voice, because a lot of people in Chicago remember when you got on The Voice and we saw what we saw. We saw you up there performing the songs and doing whatever, and then when you made it and then when you got voted off, that's all we saw. But we want to know the actual Voice experience. How did you get on The Voice? How was it? What did we not know as people just watching our television sets?
Okay, so let me say this. I know y'all looking at me right now on my page. I'm about to shut this down. Terry Hunter, do me a favor. Y'all go to the Maze Jackson page, and I want y'all to share that page and come over here and holler at your girl, because I was talking about you, Terry Hunter, like 2 minutes ago. Now I got to get off this here page, and y'all go back over there to the Maze Jackson page,
and then
y'all
share
want
the live.
Share the live. Share it to my page. Share it until I send y'all some money. Here, love y'all. Bye.
Thank you.
All right, so The Voice.
The Voice, the Demons. So on The Voice.
Okay.
The Voice was a great experience. One, because I met a ton of singers. But let me tell you, I could have done without them people that they were irritating the hell out of me. When you lose, what's going to happen? I'm like, you know what? When I lose, I'm going to be ready to go home. You ain't have to ask me nothing. Stop asking me that before I walk up.
Who is they? The fans?
So it wasn't the fans. You never even see the fans. This is a very long process that people don't realize how long the process is. When you've been doing something from March until September. And when I was there, I was doing it from March until September. I was doing I'm looking at myself. I was doing this long process back and forth, and they were sequestering you. You were by yourself. You couldn't be with your loved ones. They fly them out there, and you can't spend no time with them. It's a bunch of drama. It's a bunch of crazy head game stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm tired now. How you gonna keep me from my man for 6 weeks, and then he come out here and you put him in a different hotel? I can't get to. Hey,
it was like the NBA bubble.
Right. God. And look, and I wasn't playing no games. So what are we doing here? It was crazy. You had me bring all my clothes out there, and then you won't let me wear any of them.
Right.
That kind of. So here I come with 3 big old bags of clothes for y'all to go through, and it's like, let me pick everything but what she wants. So let me put her in this leopard dress that her ass would never wear.
And it's so funny you bring that up, because most of us that know you, that was like the first thing we thought. We were like, okay, that doesn't look like Terisa Griffin that we know. And we work in media. We understand how people all of a sudden manipulate that thing and be like, all right, we want you to wear this because they down with the program.
Right.
But we saw that immediately, and I know by them dressing you that way and putting you in something that didn't make you feel uncomfortable, that messed with your soul when it came to wanting to perform and do what you had to do. It
did, and it was just weird for no real reason. Why would you make me look my worst? Because you don't want me to win. So you're crazy, because now you can't hide my voice, but you can make me feel very uncomfortable. And once I broke my ankle and they lied about what was happening, they sent some guy with dirty fingernails, and they was like, oh, your ankle's fine. Come to find out, I had a spiral fracture of the fibula. And it was just swelling, and they just disappeared. I was like, you know what? You can mess with a lot of stuff, but my health, I'm going to draw the line, because this ain't a Job test. This is some ignorant folk stuff here. Let me go to the hospital. I had to get myself to a hospital, got there. They told us how bad it was. And then it was so bad they couldn't put a cast on that day.
Wow.
And I ended up having to have this thing on for almost 4 months.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. And they immediately got rid of me when this happened. Immediately. And they come, oh, thank you for being here. I was like, y'all go to hell. That was my, because I'm not one of these people that hide how they feel. No. That's probably a downfall for me. And it's okay. I'm good with God with it,
Hallelujah.
But I'm not going to go to my grave You know, oh, I was trying to be nice to these. Go to hell. Go directly to hell.
Own it, girl.
Do not pass go.
And I told a few people when I came here, they were like, y'all know she crazy. No, you crazy.
Right.
You crazy if you think I'm going to sign my life away for 6 albums. And what is 6 albums? How long in life is that? And you take half of my publishing, and I should be happy because you gave it to me. Go to hell.
Right.
Go to hell, because I refuse to be infamous and broke.
Right.
You know, you're not going to make me that artist. You know, I can make money. You know, can you repair my soul? You cannot do that. And so they knew they had a bona fide fool on their hands. And they were like, we better get this fool out of here, because she done had enough. When you are, they said, well, who you want? If you had to lose, this is the question they asked me after my ankle was broke, not where the hospital, you know, are you okay? Can we help you? If you had to lose, who would you lose to? I said, somebody who can sing. I was like, and so there's this kid, his name is Trevin. I've been spending a lot of time with him, and you all already know it. So if I'm going to lose to someone, Trevin should be the one. You know, who did I lose to? Trevin.
Okay.
That wasn't going to be a hard one. You know, when you're working with someone every day, they know you have a personal relationship. And this baby felt horrible. He's like, Mama T. I was like, child, I'm ready to go. Go sing. They gave me Saving All My Love. I said, I can't go wrong with that. I won't sound bad with it. I've sung it 1,000,000 times in life. We're fine. And they gave him, How Can I Just Let You Walk Away? Well, one is way more dramatic than the other. Just let you leave without a trace when I stand here taking every breath with you. And then I've got, So I'm saving all my love for you. Go to hell. Okay? Go directly to hell.
Oh my God.
Because if you give me, How Can I Just Take a Look at Me Now? Hell, I can win too. That's not what it's designed for. It's designed for me to take my black ass home. Let's go.
They give you a go home song.
Right. Like, what is this bullshit?
Okay.
Like, bubblegum just falling out of the stage and shit.
Oh,
like,
my
for
God.
real.
And you know, there was always this issue. I didn't want to share a room. If I'm gonna be there all this time, I'm too old to share a damn room.
I heard that.
And I had a roommate. Me and my girl Suzanne. We was cool. We had a good time. She was a white chick. Once we figured out what the rules were, we was besties.
Got it.
Don't have nobody sitting on my damn bed. Don't have nobody sitting on my pillow. I will share food with you, but ask me about my shit. That's my rules.
First.
That's my rules. We got along perfectly, but they knew, you know, after a certain amount of time, it's only so long you can stick an old grown ass person.
Right.
And they kept asking me about my age. I said, is this the voice of the age? Wow. And when the cowboy that I used to like, the one with the blue eyes, what's his name? Blake.
Okay.
When Blake and Michael Bublé almost got his ass whooped.
Okay.
So, it was. I'm telling you, it was on.
It was about to be on.
And one of the producers, Teresa, what happened? I said, girl, don't come over here playing with me. I'm mad and I'm crying. I'm about to hit you in the throat. You better go somewhere. I'm like, Michael Bublé was like, well, you know, at your age, if you don't do it now, that's probably it. I said, who the fuck is you talking to? That was my answer. I was like, who are you talking to? And Blake was like, wait, Teresa, if you had songs on iTunes, I would go and buy them. I said, well, get busy. Go buy them. Because I got some on iTunes and any other you want to get on. I said, y'all better stop with this foolishness. So, you know, don't start trying to make it look like when I went, they were making a transition. At first, when I heard about The Voice, when the producers talked to me about The Voice, they were having artists come in and they were singing their original songs. That was how The Voice started out.
Okay.
They made a transition when I was there, and they decided that it wasn't going to be that way anymore. So you spent months buying into this, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, now this is the way we're changing the show up. Well, by now I've spent all of these months. Do I waste my time or do I go through with it?
Got it.
And that was the choice. Now, in hindsight, people say, do you have any regret? I don't. I don't have a lot of regrets. It's a couple of things. I probably should have had some kids, but I'm not really mama material, so I'm a mentor.
Fair enough.
You know, every
Fair
woman
enough.
shouldn't have kids. I'm sorry, ladies. I know some of y'all probably going to string me up about it, but what kind of parent are you? Every woman.
Every woman ain't parent material.
You know, and I just.
And every woman on the feed ain't a parent, so.
You know, and so I'm like, oh, thank y'all, tea timers. Y'all working them numbers. Keep going.
Keep going. Keep going.
So I'm just like, you know, I'm an entertainer, and I don't want my kids to be like, man, I want to go with my mommy, and I'm gone.
Right.
And I already knew what was priority for me. And so I'm a great auntie. I'm an amazing auntie. My sister's kids know if they need me, you can call me. Don't keep me on the phone all damn day with your issues. You know,
Right.
Let's get to the crust of it, because I don't want to talk to you that long. That ain't me. You know,
Right.
You can stay with me, and I can facilitate things for you,
Right.
so that you can have a better life. That's who I am. I am not 24/7 mama for nobody. And I'm a Gigi now because my husband had 2 grown kids.
Okay.
And so
And they
there's a
got
little
kids.
child running around hollering, Gigi, Gigi, Gigi. And I love that little boy.
That's dope.
I love him. And that's great for me. But he go home to his mama.
Right. At
You
the
know
end of the day,
something?
he can go home.
A few minutes ago, when you were talking about the voice, you said that you had music on iTunes, and I discovered this song on iTunes before it became what it eventually became. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it. In its original form,
Yes. That's the sexy version.
it is, and
That's rock with your man tonight. Ooh, get him, girl, get
He
him.
takes me to
Lap dance slow. Yeah.
right.
all I do
And then here comes Terry
is
Hunter.
make me
Right. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
look great.
So it's beautiful where it is right now.
My night and shine.
I don't even know if everybody knows about this.
Oh, I guarantee you,
Scary.
they don't.
It's scary. You go down south, they want the slow
Amazing
version.
joy.
As a matter of fact, my friend from down south would be like, I need you to play the slow version of Wonderful. So that's how I discovered. I got it from the album My Naked Soul. I bought the album, loved the song, and then so how do we get to a point where that song becomes what it is now, which is this anthemic dance song?
Well, my crazy ass friend Mary Datcher. Mary, anybody that know me and Mary know, don't mess with Mary. I might have to sock you out. I might sock Mary out. We fight. We love each other. So Mary Datcher was like, "Look, you need a remix for this, for this." And I was like, okay, Mary, who you talking about? And I was like, and when you talk about remix, well, who, what we talking about? She's like, house, you need to, and let's talk to Terry Hunter. And I was like, okay. So she set it up. I went over to Terry, and Terry was like, okay. And he was like, so, give me the vocals. I was like, no, I'll re-sing it all. Because there's a way I want to make sure I don't like that sped up version of my vocals and stuff. Don't do that to me.
Right.
And Terry and I are like brothers and sisters, which is really scary,
Right.
So once I become friends with somebody, it's for life. I don't like working with a bunch of strange folks. That ain't my thing,
Right.
But Terry and I became really great friends, and Terry was like, okay, T, come on, go ahead, let me see what. First we did Sunshine.
Okay.
And then after we did Sunshine, he was like, okay, well, let's do Wonderful. And we did Wonderful. And I go in now. So at the beginning, it wasn't dun 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 dun. None of that was there.
None of that was there?
There was a beat.
Just the drums.
And and I was like, okay. And then we had piano. And then, once I went in and sang, next time I heard the damn song, it was dun dun dun.
It was all lively.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, that's how you heard it, huh? That's how you heard. So, I mean, all of those vocals, and that's how we work really well together, because he allows me to go in and, if he gives me that beat, and we've got some guitar here or there, I'm like, okay, I got it. Let me lay all of this. Let me lay all my background vocals, and this is how he appreciates that I'm not just a singer. But I'm a producer and a writer, so if I wrote the damn song, I know how the vocals are.
Right. So you know where everything needs to sit.
And then he goes back and says, watch this. And he changed stuff. And I'm like, you are a mad scientist. I love it.
Right.
And it's a great relationship. It's such an amazing, if I had to pick anyone, I wouldn't pick a lot of other people to do house with. Mike Dunn, yes, my dude.
Yeah.
I love Mike, and I love Terry, and it's great house producers here. And then Frankie Knuckles did a remix on Sunshine that was ridiculous, a director's cut.
Yes.
And I just happened to be in another country and somebody started playing. I was like, what is that? That sounds like me. And it was like, you haven't heard this? And I had to call Frankie up in tears. Just like in tears, because I never, fan of his work.
Yes.
But never would have thought he would have done that for me. I didn't even ask. And Frankie pulled that out of nowhere. I'm like, damn, this is, I love house music. This is so different, and it's timeless. It's ageless. You know, it doesn't really matter. You just go on in there and sing and bounce around. You know, I've seen some real heavy folks singing it, real skinny folks singing it. Nobody care if you fat or skinny. Just holler, holler, girl, holler.
Right.
Get up there and holler and sing, and it's a great thing, and it's been an amazing. You know, I travel with house. Used to travel with house.
Back when we was traveling.
Come on, I travel with R&B. Travel with jazz, travel with blues. You know, I get to work with people like Orbit Davis. It's an amazing Philharmonic orchestra here in Chicago. And I happened to be in Texas, and somebody was like, I heard your blues version of Coming Home Chicago with, I'm like, down here in Texas? You know, so you get all these different genres, and you don't allow people to stick you in a box.
Exactly.
You know?
So you never allowed, once this took off and it really went into one particular lane, you didn't allow them to make you a house singer.
Hell no.
Hell, she's got one of the biggest stepper cuts in the city on top of that. So, I mean, like I said, she's right when it comes to hitting all these different genres. Like, hey, you pretty much flip it all.
You know, I didn't know what steppers was till I came in.
Okay.
Oh, my God. I'll never forget sitting next to Kenny Lattimore and everybody. And I saw these couples coming out, and they was dressed all different and stuff. Now, I know I'm from the country. So these people, to me, was dressed different.
Right.
And I was like, what the hell are they doing? He drug across the floor. And, you know, and I was like, they was like, this is steppers. This is steppers. And I'm like, Chicago got so much shit. What is it? And all of a sudden, here you hear this, I want you to be, with Keith Henderson, all inside of me. I'm like, Keith Henderson, that's a nasty song, but I really like it. And so when you keep listening to all of this different stuff, why put yourself in a box?
Right.
You know, I listened to a lot of your tracks. It's funny because you bring up Wonderful, and one of your tracks that you didn't mention that is a house track that I played the shit out of. And I'm telling you, every time I played it, DJs were always like, what is this? It was the song that you did with Maurice Joshua, the Don't Save Me joint.
Don't say, I forgot. Sorry, Maurice, you know I love you, boo.
Let me just say, before they cut my head off at that other station, if I still would have been there, I would have blew that record up because I absolutely love that song. And to this day, if I do a set, I still play that record. But, you know, it's funny. And I'm going to sit here and tell you right here on Chicago Famous that I've always appreciated you as an artist, but I've really appreciated you as a businesswoman, because somebody who didn't feel like they needed a major label, somebody who felt like I could have my own website, I can sell my own music, I can throw my own events, I can make my own email list. I don't need you damn promoters. I don't need none of you middlemen to do what I got to do. These people are coming to see me, so therefore I'm going to control this shit.
This is my money.
And when I started putting my thing together, I was looking at you and I was like, I say Terisa Griffin got some shit going on over there. I was like, she got her own email list. I was like, she done packed up the entire ensemble over there by her damn self and not a promoter in sight. She did it all on her own. So with that being said, I would probably go down and say that one of the reasons why the other station chopped my head off is because I got into a fight over there over you. Because,
oh my God.
Because at the time,
why do we have the COVID? I need to come over there and put these titties on you. I love you.
Well, you can still put the titties on me. I ain't gonna trip on that.
Put them on your back, baby. I gotta put them on your back.
All right, that's not okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully her husband ain't logged in.
He good.
He already know. He already knows.
He good.
It's the act. It's part of the act.
So check this out.
He live with all of us.
Right. So at the time, I'm doing this mix show and I'm doing my house events and I'm doing all this stuff, and your record is just red hot. It's smoking. And when I was doing what I was doing on the other station when it comes to house music, I not only was playing it, but I was telling people who it was, where it was available, all that stuff. And people were just like, oh, really? So I was educating people, not just playing the mix. And your song got so hot. It was your song and Superman by Black Coffee. At that time, both them records were just screaming. And I went to the programming department, and I was like, I just got a question. I was like, we just added 3 artists that nobody know, and nobody knows these records. Yet this woman from Chicago got the hottest record in the world, and everywhere I go, people ask for it. Why can't we add this record to rotation? And I got the old, well, you know, that's a house song, and you know, house has a lane. And I was like, shit, that is a good song. It's a hit. Right. And I was told you play hits. If it's a good record, whether it's a slow jam, a house record, a reggae, a hip hop, a blues record, a hit is a hit. And they tried to sit there and convince me and tell me that because this record was considered a so-called house record, that it wouldn't be right to add it into proper rotation. And I basically had a fit.
What the?
I was just like, are you serious? So you're going to make me play this bullshit ass song that don't nobody know and don't nobody request, but somebody who's here in Chicago who has the hottest record in my mix show, you're going to look me in my eye and tell me because that's the so-called house record that we can't play that song on the air. And I was so next to myself, like talk about triggered. I came out of my skin. So probably about 2 months later, they were like, you know what? Fuck that dude. He's got to go. And they end up firing me. They get rid of all the house music and all that shit because I was told, you know, we don't want to be known as a house station. We play R&B and all that shit. And then 6 months later, they turn around and they all of a sudden want to claim they're the home for house music and bring all the shit back and say, fuck you, Dizz. So, you know, with that being said, I'm just like,
still holds a grudge.
Hey, look, I'm like, you go to hell. What do you say? You say, go to hell. Exactly.
Sometimes you do have to say go to hell.
You do.
But the great thing about hell is that it's got a rotating door.
Hello.
And I found, and only because as an artist, I watch radio. And I've seen, and I'm like, oh, this person's working here. Oh, no, they're working here. Now they're working here. And it's so confusing.
It is.
And I never can truly understand it other than what I say. It is a crazy business that's not really ran the way it used to be.
No.
Not to say that used to be was the perfect way, but it gave leeway for more artists locally to be able to have a listening ear. It's really difficult now for artists when it comes to radio because there are not a lot of slots for us. And so we have to fight so hard to get on radio, especially in our hometown. Now, it's crazy because somebody in New York did the same thing with Wonderful, DJ Qua, and he basically broke it. And I think they fired him. They brought him back. It was like he just could not fathom not playing Wonderful.
Right.
And I go there. I used to go there at least 2 or 3 times, a month just to perform Wonderful.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, this is crazy because I don't know what this is all about, but I can't let it shake my soul.
True.
Right. And we gotta keep moving.
Go.
Yep, I got a question. I found a quote.
But let me tell you, I love you.
Oh, I love you back.
Thank you so much.
And like I said, everything that you've done as a person, as an artist, and like I said, as a businesswoman, I was too impressed. And I was like, I hope people are taking notes on this woman because she got her shit together. And I bought some tickets off your website, attended some of your events, and I was like, you see this? Like,
and the little food, I had little food in the lobby with some cocktails.
I'm telling you, you had your shit was set up. I was like, she got atmosphere. It's professional. It's nice. So when I got to doing the things that I was doing, I knew. I was like, it was not just about throwing. It was just not about throwing a party. It was actually giving it an experience. I wanted people to come to my parties and leave that place going, damn, I can't wait to the next one. So I appreciate you for all your professionalism and your wonderful talent and your honesty. And yeah, people can go to hell. Hey, I'm in it.
And next year, just by the time the spring breaks, my thing is we're going to have great car concerts. This cannot stop us.
No.
Especially financially, and people need music. People need that outlet.
They do.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying, we can do it safely, and at the same time we can make money. So I'm ready for that next step. And artists better start thinking out of the box. Because this is not a place where you need to lose your soul. I see a lot of your happiness, your artistic loving, and I'm talking directly to artists and people who are in this business. And this business connects us all, from radio to the busboy.
Right.
We're all connected.
Yes.
And we have to bridge that and get it together so that we save one another. That's what's important now. We must save one another in order to save something for our kids later.
I want to ask you one more question. I found this quote, and I was like, I have got to ask a woman artist this question. And this quote is from a woman, an unnamed woman. And it's for you to succeed in this business, you have to keep 3 things in mind. First, a man wants to see if he can fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
Then he wants to see if he can fuck you over. And then lastly, he wants to see if he can fucking get you out of the picture. If you keep these 3 things in mind, you can go a long way. How did you move in a business where that is a mindset from men who control an industry?
My coochie is mine. It's not connected to my voice in the sense of, and ladies, most of my fans know I'm really crazy, so I know this whole pipe is connected. But let's be clear, I did not want to look in the mirror and say I made it because of my coochie, and not because of my blessing, which is my voice. Both are a blessing, but one ain't got nothing to do with the other. So if I've got to wake up and say, damn, what if I had it? How could it have been if I didn't do that? How I just wasn't interested in it. And I had people come to me with jacked up, and then they smile and laugh in my face now and be, how you doing? Oh, I'm like, go to hell.
Certainly.
Because you had the ability to make a difference, and all you saw was your penis. You couldn't see past the stupidity to get there. And, I don't know why, but I don't think it's reserved just for women. I think this is a very decadent industry that likes to delve into grabbing a part of you and snatching it and owning you in a whole different negative, nasty type of way. And it doesn't stop with just sex. It comes in all different forms, and that's all types of business. It just so happens that I'm in this business.
Right.
But in every business, you get the couch. There's a couch. You can lay on it, or you can tell them to kiss your ass. Mine was kiss my ass, and I know you want to, but I'm not going to let you, okay? And you don't have none of it. It's mine. I'm saving all my love for my husband whenever I find one. And I didn't want... I wanted somebody who I didn't want somebody, I had her. Yeah, I had her. No, hell no, you ain't had it. This mine. And so, I didn't want my husband to run into Tom, Dick, and Harry who didn't had it.
Right.
That's uncomfortable. Maybe it's for me it is. For some folks it ain't, look.
Southern girl.
I'm a Southern girl, and I'm a preacher's kid. So, all of my...
Oh, no, y'all wild then. This is supposed to be the opposite.
Oh, I am crazy now. I didn't say it. I can tell you right now, my husband be probably like, hell, Mary, he Catholic too. He probably over there praying, but I mean, and I thought, he's got locks. He out there. And my husband is reserved, honey. Everybody be like, yeah, you needed that because you crazy. So I really had to. It wasn't hard. I didn't go out. No one could ever say, oh yeah, she was out there hanging out. Not Teresa. Yeah. I worked. I went to my apartment. I worked. I went to my apartment. Hey, this party, you should come to it. Not necessarily. I don't know no damn body there. I don't have somebody to walk me around as an agent, to introduce me to people. And hanging out with a bunch of women looking like a desperate cove group of women just drinking, it just makes you look old and tired. And I just wasn't interested in it. If I wanted to do something, I can do it at home. I can drink and smoke and do whatever else I want to at my damn house in the privacy of my home. It was no one else's business. And people need to understand how sometimes you just need to keep it to your damn self.
There you go. Because
it ain't going to make you more successful. It can make you more infamous. It can make you, the crotch of the, the industry. Somebody was, and, I pray I never run into, I really like J-Lo, but they said she had
said some things.
Yeah, and
said some things.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, all of her success, and then you got to look at all of the people, and that's another thing about being famous. Everybody knows every damn thing.
Yep.
They know who you slept with. It didn't work out. Now you're sleeping with this one. It didn't work out. You're sleeping with this one. Damn. What kind of coochie is that?
Coochie that it don't work out.
Come on, it don't work out and everybody done dropped off in it all. No.
Wow.
You just think about, who did you want to marry? Did you want to marry the hoe?
Right.
Or did you want the wife that everybody didn't have? And I just wanted to not be the one that everybody had. And plus my heart needed to be in it.
True.
Well, that's right. Terisa Griffin.
The hoe. That's the word everybody gonna remember. Y'all heard us say the hoe, the crotch,
Griffin,
the
the
coochie.
hoe.
Right. Hey, we
I
want to
opened the door to that. So, you
Right.
know.
So hopefully all of y'all don't get mad. Don't call Mr. Farrakhan and Reverend Jackson. Don't y'all be texting me.
They gonna call Terry Hunter. Be like, Terry, your
Terry.
girl over there wilding.
You know what? He gonna be like, yep, that's her.
Right.
I'm the one that asked
exactly.
the question with fuck in it, so it ain't her problem, man. So
Oh no, but
put it on
I
us.
take this is a grown conversation,
Right.
Absolutely.
And probably if we just really concentrate on having better stuff, you
Yes.
know, in our lives, we would not concentrate on that. Your
Absolutely.
talent has nothing to do with how many penises you can do
Come on.
or suck or none of that. Stop doing that and concentrate on your career, because that's what's going to make it. You working hard, that's going to give you longevity.
Yes.
I'm still working and I'm going to keep working.
Come on.
there you
Terisa
go.
Griffin on Chicago Famous. Thank you for stopping through.
Thank you so much for
We have
dropping
told
by.
10 times by
Hey,
producer.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Hey, look, we got to thank all of her. What do you call your people that follow you?
My
Your-
tea timers.
Your tea timers,
Thank you
because
to
they
the tea
came
timers
out.
and
They was representing for sure. So we
appreciate y'all.
appreciate
Love
all
my
the
tea
love.
timers. Can I
Thank
give
you
y'all
for
some?
sharing the video and all that stuff. Give them your social media accounts before we get out of here, so they know how to follow you.
Okay, Terisa Griffin, TERISAG, RIFFIN, TERISAGRIFFIN, Terisa Griffin, everything.
All right, Danetta Hardy, we know you in the chat. Put all that in the chat so people, because you know she said that super fast and nobody caught that. Just put it in the chat. We got it.
Danetta, thank you. You worked hard on this. I love you, sis. 6'4", all y'all. Tea time was it.
All right. Chicago Famous.